Welcome to Talk Around Riyadh, the Wheel of Time showcast. I'm your host, Joe Perry, and I'm here with my co-hosts, Jen Isgro and Tom Kokoza. Jen, it's Saturday night. How do you feel?
I'm feeling pretty good. The Easter Bunny's almost risen, and Jesus will be leaving chocolates for my children tonight. So, all in all, it's a pretty good weekend. Also, I wanted to bring up that I think we talked about this last week with the egg, the bouncing of the egg. Did we talk about this last week?
Well, we talked maybe 2 weeks ago.
It was a while ago that we talked about it, yeah.
All right, well, I forgot to mention because we were live streaming last week, but I brought it up that night, and apparently it was supposed to be the next day. So my cousin did send a picture of an egg bouncing. But apparently Tom says you could balance an egg every day, not just on the equinox. So I think I have to try to balance an egg on another day.
In front of your cousin and just
I don't want
to
humiliate him. That's a boy. I don't want to humiliate him. The male, it's a male, not a boy. He's a man. But
anyway.
I'm
not saying you shove it in his face and do it. Just be like, oh yeah, look, I saw you balanced an egg the other day. I wanted to do it too, and just do it in front of them.
You know all the fun our family has? It's bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's been bullshit forever.
Well, my friend Tom said it's all bullshit.
He says our family is a bunch of idiots. We've been bouncing an egg one day. We could have been bouncing an egg 365 days a year.
We could have been enjoying this every day.
I didn't say they were idiots.
Wake up in the morning, balance an egg.
I think I said they were rubes, really. It's more what I was going for.
God.
Jen, I bet they believe the earth is flat too, right? Your cousin. That's why it balances.
It doesn't go. Right. Why would it tip over on a completely flat earth? You're right.
I don't know. Tom, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Joe. That's despite the fact that as of this recording, the Mets have yet to win a game this season. But there's only been 2 of them so far, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, that's not so bad.
Should we check in? Do any of us have to pay any money yet?
I do. Pete Alonso, they almost won today. Pete Alonso hit a home run in the 9th to get them within 1, but that was not enough.
Are we calculating it through the whole season and then donating at the end? Is that how we're doing this?
Yes. So I'm not bothering really checking in every, what everyone's totals
just at the
are.
end. Right. Okay.
At the end, we'll tally it all up.
All right.
Yeah.
The Pete Alonso home run donations, right?
That's right.
That's you doing one?
To.
I was going to do Aaron Judge.
Yeah, that's didn't I pick somebody?
I think I might have said I'll pick Garrett Cole, but I don't know.
And I cursed him, and now he's injured.
Yeah.
Right.
I should do Juan Soto. I think I said I was going to do Judge, but how about I do Soto?
Yeah, that's cool.
I'll do Judge.
I'll do
Soto. There we go.
There we go. Donations all around. You know what's weird? The other what was it yesterday? Today's Saturday, so I'm getting thrown off. Yesterday I was working from home, and it's like the morning, and I hear tires screeching right outside the house. Right, so I go up, I look out the window, and there's some jerk off doing donuts. I live in a cul-de-sac. In the cul-de-sac, so I go up, I run upstairs. I go out the front door. This guy's just doing donuts, screeching all around there. He goes up. My neighbor is out yelling at the guy while he's doing his donuts, and the guy tries to I don't know what he was doing. They just lost control of the car, smashed into the curb, lost his bumper, went up on the curb. My neighbor's like, what? Yeah, nice. My neighbor's like, yeah, nice move there, jackass. He says, and at the exact same time, I yelled the same thing from where I was.
You guys had a moment.
Yeah, well,
then we made out.
He was on his front lawn, and the guy was the car went right next to the house next to his.
Oh my god!
And he goes over there, and he's like, "What the hell are you doing?" Blah 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 blah. The guy gets out of the car. I think it was a kid, and then his girlfriend, I guess, because the girl gets out of the passenger side, and they're running to throw the bumper into the car, and my neighbor yelling at him, and he got his license.
Oh my god!
Then the guy speeds away, literally peeling, going around the corner. I was like, "What a fucking moron this kid is!" And the cops came, and hopefully my neighbor gave him the license plate, and they go and gave that guy the business because
that's
morons.
Terrible.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry.
That was my
sorry
friend.
to hear that.
Okay.
Yeah. but nobody's injured at least.
That's
But
fair.
oh man, that was so great when that guy smashed up the curb and his bumper came off. That was so funny.
I feel like that's like all the karma you need.
Yeah. And then his girlfriend's getting out of the car, helping him pick up the pieces to his car that fell off on the lawn.
You mean his ex-girlfriend?
Yeah. Well,
His bumper,
It was probably his sister.
but then I'm leaving you.
There's one other thing I wanted to say. Sorry, before we get into the actual Wheel of Time. But I had made a note of something like a while back that I wanted to talk in an episode, and I completely forgot to talk about it. And then I heard a commercial on the radio, and again, it reminded me of it, because a few months back, I was driving around listening to the radio, and this commercial comes on, and it's for a lawyer who specializes in DWIs. And it was a song that was sung to the tune of Stacy's mom, who went, DWI Tom has got it going on. And he's singing this song.
And
I'm like, I think it was him or somebody was singing the song. And I'm like, this guy defends drunk drivers and he's singing like a jaunty tune about it. Like, what is this?
What radio station was it on?
I think it might have been ESPN, probably.
Okay.
I just remember it being so bizarre.
That's really odd.
Yeah, that really is. It's like, okay, you're just like making fun or making light of like drunk drivers and drunk driving, which is terrible.
But you remembered it. If you ever have an accident and for drunk driving, hopefully not. But
he I think he made a new commercial and it's like a normal commercial now. That's what I think I heard recently that made me think about it. Because I guess maybe he got some grief for like singing a song.
Don't drive drunk because you can kill someone.
Well, no, drive drunk and we'll get you off is basically what he's saying.
We've all driven
if it's
drunk
too late
before. Right, come on,
don't worry about driving drunk. We'll get you off.
Not me.
Yeah. DWI Tom.
Why do you have to be
DWI Tom has got it going on. I was like, what? I wonder if what's their names? Who's the band that sings?
Bowling for is it Fountains of Wayne or Bowling for Soup?
No, it's Fountains of
Wayne.
No,
Fountains of Wayne. I wonder if Fountains of Wayne got wind of it and like shut that down.
Maybe. I think I'm thinking of a story where Bowling for Soup said when people will ask them to play Stacy's mom, and they're like, "That's not our song."
I mean, we like it; it's a good song, but
it's great. All right, sorry for that tangent there, but I figured why not. We do have some news to talk about today. We've got two articles from Odd Series over the last week that were quite interesting, and I'd like to get everyone's thoughts on them and break these down for everyone. So the first one came out on the 25th. So Watt Series released an article identifying 2 more episode titles. So they have, and they found these on the WGA sites. So they found episode 302 and 308, which is a Quest of Crimson. Oh, sorry, Question of Crimson. A Question of Crimson and He Who Comes with the Dawn. Now, I believe there's a disclaimer on this. Please note that even though He Who Comes with the Dawn is almost certainly the finale, it maps to episode 302. The numbers and titles appear on different. The numbers and titles appear on different sides of the WGA site. So they weren't like, didn't say episode 302, A Question of Crimson. There was 302 and 308, and then they saw in another place the 2 titles. A Question of Crimson is written by Catherine B. McKenna, and He Who Comes with the Dawn is not written by Rafe Judkins. It's written by Justine Jill Gilmer, who we know also is writing episode 1, To Race the Shadow. So, thoughts on these 2 new episode titles? Do you like them? Yay or nay? I forgot to look up what chapters these were. I'm sorry.
I can look it up really quick.
I
think A Question of Crimson is Fires of Heaven. I think is a Fires of Heaven.
Circus chapter is what I'm being told.
Okay, it's a circus chapter. Thank you.
Is that where is that the chapter where Nynaeve doesn't want to wear the dress? Like the
Oh, that might be the question, right? Because it's a red dress, right? Yeah.
A question of crimson.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on this chapter title? Wasn't one that any of us picked when we did our episode 3 title predictions, right? What did you have for 302, Jen?
I had winds rising.
Oh, Tom, what about you?
Homecoming.
Oh, I had into the doorway.
Okay.
Any thoughts on what might be happening in this chapter? Well, first off, I'm sorry. Before I even say that, is there a question about the chapter title? Do you think this is 302 or 308?
It's not 308. So
I feel like he who comes to the dawn being 302 is early for that.
Yeah, I actually have He Who Comes with the Dawn as my episode 4 title.
I know I was debating having that as part of I didn't make my title cuts, but I was debating it as having one of mine as well.
I don't think any of us had a question of Crimson for sure.
No.
So any thoughts about this chapter, this episode? What could be happening in this episode? Red Aja, maybe?
Yeah, I think this is if that's the episode title, I think it's Elida themed. And I think I think this is a that's the only thing I can really figure.
Could be a lot.
Sorry.
No, you finish.
No.
Could be Elida and also like Leandrin and her crew of Reds.
Oh yeah, we could get two.
Could also be blood related. Something bad happens with.
I like the gesture you made when you said blood related, Jen.
Blood related. Blood related. Is that what I did?
Something like that.
Just kind of also skipping records while you're doing that.
Yeah.
Wicca.
The first thing that came to my mind was Red Aja. I can't see it being anything else. But yeah, blood related. Yeah, could there be question of Crimson about Rand's bloodline? Right? Is that what
I don't mean that. I mean like literally blood.
Oh.
Like blood is spilled.
Like don't touch the
blood is spilled in a lot of episodes.
All right, well, this one too. There's a question about it. Who did this?
I like a question about Rand's blood.
Could be that too.
His bloodline? About his mother? I was going to say father, but
could be both.
That would make more. Yeah, it could be both.
Yeah.
And then we have He Who Comes with the Dawn, episode 308. Like I said before, I had this in my predictions, but I had it as episode 4. This seems like a weird spot for He Who. This seems just as weird as having it as episode 2 for me. Right? What? This isn't like Viridian, right?
Does he come with the dawn when he's coming back from Viridian? Is that what it is? Well, what if they changed it and the dawn happens while he's like proclaiming himself to everybody at like Alcar Dal? That's the place, right?
Oh, he like arrives
at amphitheater.
Alcar Dal and the dawn.
No, like the whole thing happens, and it's like and he's like showing the tattoos and that whole thing.
Does it rain? Does he make it rain?
He does make it rain. Not with money either. Yeah.
Maybe the dawn happens like during that or something.
Yeah. So maybe there's like a dawn and then a weather event. It rains. We're getting a lot of like weather in this episode.
Maybe it's raining and then the storm breaks and the sun is like coming up. Maybe they fight in the water. No.
Maybe they fight in the water.
In front of a
rain fight. There's definitely going to be a rain fight this year.
So
this season.
In the books, right? Coolin declares himself He Who Comes to the Dawn, right? At Alcar Dal.
So maybe this is cool. This is referring to Coolin claiming
to the Aiel. The Aiel now know as a whole at the end of this episode just who He Who Comes to the Dawn is. There's no doubt about it. But I also think there's a very, very good chance that Alcar Dal does not appear in the series at all, and they just he goes to Rodian, and then he has to wait for everyone else to show up at Rodian for him to declare himself. And all of the action just takes place around there, right?
But it's that same scene with the two of them.
Yeah,
and
I
then-
think you're still gonna have the cool it in him dichotomy. I would imagine you're still gonna have like he fights Asmodean there, and
Well, they leave and come back, right? Isn't that what
right in the
happens?
books they leave and he
Yeah.
travels after Asmodean to Rodian, and they have the fight there, and then
Oh, yeah.
Lanfear shields Asmodean, and he
Okay.
then gets
He takes
training.
the Choden Call too. That's
Right,
when he gets
right.
the Choden Call, right?
Yep. Showed.
So maybe there's just like a stage area in Rodian where this can
Yeah, that's what
like on the other side of the place. Same area, general area.
I have no problem with that. I don't doubt that they would do something like that. Just again to cut down on a set piece and traveling.
No, just everyone.
It sounds like they're going to.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I think if you just say like all the tribes have been called to Shandar,
Shandar.
Right, and then like they just go to Cold Rock's Hold to chill out for a while, and then they have to rush back to because Cooladin's fucking around. Like that's it. You can just have 2 IEL set places, and that's all you need.
That's
FAFO.
Fuck around and find out.
He does.
Yeah.
He does.
That's a FAFO.
That's a FAFO.
That's a FAFO. Whatever.
2 A's, right? Fuck
2 A.
around.
All right. Well, the and
And
can
find
be.
out. No, you didn't put the and.
You just assume it. FAFO.
Yeah. So there was something else about this, right? So Sarah Nakamura had posted. I think Critter First originally did a TikTok, just kind of like talking about this article, and then Sarah Nakamura, consultant on the show, she posted a response to the article and to Critter's TikTok. So I'll just quote a couple of things she said in there, and this is referring to the episode titles. She said, occasionally we will use placeholders in the name of the episode or what the episode might be called. She then said, just because it's currently listed doesn't mean it will stay that way. And she made a nod to the fandom for sleuthing things out. And she said that's part of the reason why they do that. So do you think Sarah's just messing with us, or is she trying to hint to us that like, hey, these aren't set in stone?
Well, I think that she's trying to tell us like, don't take everything that you see there as like stoned fact. So
yeah,
I will say later on, Joe, Watt Series kind of posted almost a retraction, an apology for like, I guess, leading people astray.
I don't think they were leading people astray.
I don't think so either, but I think
they were just saying this is what information we found on the WGA site.
Mm-hmm.
And then so they basically are saying, hey, look, we vet things when we have a reasonable confidence that this is a real thing. We're going to report it as it. If it turns out not to be true, we accept that responsibility. We apologize for it, right? And then they posted Sarah's response video, and Sarah responded back to them to basically, and this is, I'm going to quote directly what she said, right? No, I only want to educate that working titles are a thing in the industry. Blue heart. Sometimes they'll end up as the finished title. Other times they can be changed for a variety of reasons. It's still a bit far out for anything official yet. So I think that that's what the message that she was trying to say. And I think she was also basically trying to say, like, we are aware that these things go and you find them. So if there's a title that has to be secret or is going to give too much away, we're probably not going to publish that as the actual title of an episode.
Yeah. Why not put something funny though, or something totally not Wheel of Time, just to like, have fun with it.
Because it is like a real website. It's not just for us to like find.
I know, but it doesn't matter if the episode title changes. If they don't plan on using that as the episode title,
well,
why not just put
I think their idea
is
to use it, but it might change. Like it's not because like there's so much time. Like she's saying, like this is the name of the episode now.
Yeah,
but it could change.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I agree with that, Jen. I I think that's she was just getting at. Like it happens sometimes. Sometimes we change the name of episodes, or TV shows do that.
Right.
And I don't think she knows one way or another whether these are. She probably knows that these are what they are now, but she doesn't know. Like, I don't think she's saying like that's not the episode. I know the real episode titles. I think she's just saying like this is what they are now, but they could change.
Yeah.
Right.
And even I don't know if they're going to change.
Right. Don't take this as like this is locked in. Right. It's not.
I thought that was pretty cool that she responded to that and gave us that piece of information. She didn't do it last year. Or the first season. Now maybe the first season she was, a little not as comfortable, talking about stuff like that.
Was she working on the show as much in season 2?
She wasn't. I think she was working as much, but I don't think she was present as much. If memory serves,
maybe that's what. Maybe that's
But she was working remotely a lot of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't, like I said, I don't think we got these episodes right, so we can cross these off our list. Maybe at least I get half a point for maybe picking the name right, but wrong episode. So we'll keep an eye on that for future if we get.
Yeah, I'll give you it. That's definitely half a point at least.
Yeah.
What if you get like a full point and you get 2 points for nailing the title on the episode?
Yeah.
Okay, so 1 point. All right, I like that. Or we could do like hockey, right? Is it 1 point for a tie, 3 points for a win?
Oh yeah, maybe
1 point. We do something like that.
Right, 1 point. You get a point if you go to overtime. I think that's right.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
that's what it is now. If you go 2 points if you win. Yeah, because I don't think you can't have ties. They go to shootouts. There's no ties anymore.
Yeah, they do shootouts.
Yeah.
What if He Who Comes with the Dawn is episode 2? Early Viridian, like that means we're getting right into it. Like, does that mean like we're starting the season and Rand's already in the waste or on the way to the waste? How do you think they could work that if they did do that in episode 2?
I think if episode 2 is called He Who Comes with the Dawn, it's going to be like the episode called Damani that ends with Egwene being at Damani, and then the next episode's really about it, right?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be like
him going to Viridian
and like being told, like, we're going to find out if you're He Who Comes with the Dawn, like, and then you just see Viridian there, and then like that's it, and then the next episode is him going in.
Does Avienda mention He Who Comes with the Dawn, or does she just say Kara Karn?
When's the first mention of He Who Comes with the Dawn?
I mean, like in the show. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh no, in the show they didn't say it.
No.
Yeah, the Kara Karn.
She says the Kara Karn, I think, at the end of episode 8.
Well, she also says it to Perrin, I think.
Yeah, she explains it.
That's what I'm thinking of. I don't know if she said
out.
Yeah.
I don't think she says that because I don't know.
You know what?
Is He Who Comes to the Dawn? Does that have to be the Kara Karn, or it is, and that's like another like feather in his cap? I don't remember.
Another flag in his cap, you mean?
No, He Who Comes with the Dawn is part of like the prophecy or something, I think.
It is.
That's what he's in the prophecy. I think that's how they refer to him, but the idea call him the Kara Karn.
Right. Yeah, I think like I remember the first time I read the books, like because Matt and Rand come out together, like thinking for a moment, like, what if Matt is He Who Comes with the Dawn?
Well, they don't.
And like they come out together. They come out together. After. They literally come out together. Of Viridian, they come. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, okay. I was about to say Matt's hanging from a tree dead. What are you talking about?
They don't come out of the columns together. But I remember thinking like there was an opportunity for them to like split that prophecy in half, and they didn't obviously do that. But I don't remember the whole prophecy.
Yeah, I think that's where the name comes from. It comes from a prophecy, so it's not like the Kara Karn is what they'll call him. So, yeah, that's the chief of chiefs, right?
Yes.
There was another. Yeah. There was another piece of information in this article. It was just talking about the number of days filming, comparing it from seasons 1, 2, and 3. So for season 1, there was 145 days. Season 2 was 156 days. So that's 11 more days. Season 3, 176 days. So the most days filming so far out of the 3 seasons.
That's a lot of days.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Absolutely nothing.
Which is what you are about to become. No. I'm hoping that means even bigger set pieces.
I would guess so. I mean, this is from what, day 1 to the last day of shooting. It doesn't really count. Does it count time in between when they weren't filming? Right? I don't think so.
It counts working days. I think that's.
Oh, was that working days?
I think that's working days. I think that's how they're counting it.
Oh, it does say shooting days.
Yeah. So like, it doesn't count. Like if they're all on Christmas break or whatever, that doesn't count.
Yeah. All right. So so that means a lot more filming.
Yeah, and general rule of thumb, big set pieces with lots of VFX or SFX or anything like that at all, like or just lots of people and movement and extras. Those take longer to film and to set to get ready to film than small, intimate one-on-ones in a room. So, I'm hoping that we're going to see. I mean, I'm hoping that you're going to see multiple epic fights in this season.
Yeah, definitely it takes longer to film those big set pieces. Fight scenes, action sequences can take weeks to film sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like Tom said, like just a scene between 2 people talking can take minutes to film. Or maybe like an hour, 2 hours, whatever. So yeah, I guess that's what it means, Tom. I mean, what else could it mean? They had to do a lot of takes. I don't know.
I mean, everyone sucks this year, and they had to change a lot of stuff.
Someone forgot how to act. I mean, also there's a lot of different, like they did a lot of that whole rap in Europe, and then they filmed for a long time in South Africa. So I don't know how many like just different locations they filmed at. That could just take time too. You just have to move the whole production and then get it going again. Yeah. So it could just be multiple locations, but I do think that a lot of this is just, you're gonna have all the Two Rivers stuff. There should be probably more than one battle scene in the Two Rivers, let alone whatever happens in the Aiel Waste.
Yeah, think about how many Aiel should be like in that final scene. Should be a lot.
Yeah. I mean, there's how many Aiel? There's like hundreds of thousands, right?
Hundreds of thousands, yes.
Yeah.
Each of the 12 clans is the size of a nation on the other side of the Dragon Wall.
Yeah.
So there's as many Aiel as they are everyone else.
On the other side, yeah. It's a lot of people. A lot of people. So there was another article too that Watts series put out. So they announced actor Anya Marson will appear in season 3 of The Wheel of Time. So Anya is a Polish-born actor known for her roles in Nicholas and Alexandra, The Abdication, and more recently she was in The Witcher. According to her CV, she will be playing the role of Latra, which is interesting because we had a Latra who was cast. We saw her in season 1, and right, so you might be thinking, hey, recasting, but no, because remember, Watts series previously reported that actress Katie Braben, who played Latra in season 1, is returning and was filming in South Africa. So now we've got another Latra. Why do we have 2 Latras? Isn't one enough?
Never.
Double the pleasure, double the fun, Joe.
Yeah, it's 2 different time periods. 2 different Latras. The same Latra existing in 2 time periods.
So that's interesting because I did a little sleuthing of myself. No, that doesn't make sense. I did a little sleuthing
and I found
myself.
This hole I didn't know I had. I'm going to see a doctor. No, sorry.
So Anya Marson was born in 1949. Right, so that puts her in her 70s.
Yes.
And Katie Braben, while I couldn't find her age, she's probably somewhere in her 40s, around 40 years old, because it says that she graduated from the Rose Bruford College of Theater and Performance with a Bachelor of Arts in 2003.
Okay.
So she's probably around 40-ish, right? Give or take a couple of years. Unless, she went really, really late, but she doesn't look that old. I didn't even think she was in her 40s, but so that would support your theory, Jen, of two time frames. Latra early, Latra older. Older Latra, early Latra. What kind of scenes are we getting with each of these Latras? And who's your favorite Latra?
Couldn't pick a favorite Latra, Joe.
We only know one of them. And I said this on an earlier episode when we were looking at the leaked set photos, that I think that Latra is going to appear. Older Latra now, definitively, is going to appear in the flashback and take the place of the Aes Sedai, who gives the Aiel their mission to take all these Terangriel and other Angriel and just get them someplace else. And I think you're just going to have Latra be the person to do that, because that saves us having to explain who new people are, right? And that allows that mission to have more import to the audience than it would otherwise, I guess. If you're like, okay, here's this person who's nominally in charge and been trying to keep the world together for the last XDX years, and she's like, look, you guys just get this and get this somewhere else.
I have a question.
Sure.
How many years would have to pass for Latra to grow that old?
I was thinking the same thing, Jen. I was trying to
but it's not just 50 years pass or whatever.
It depends on how powerful she is in the one power. The more powerful the one power you are, the slower your aging goes. But
it's assumed she's got to be pretty powerful because she was the head of the she was one of the sitters, right? Or
she was the Tamerlane.
Not in the books. No. Yeah. Luthera is the Tamerlane.
Oh, she's the Tamerlane on the show.
She's Tamerlane on the show.
On the show, she's the Tamerlane.
Yeah, but they don't make this is not a world that's like the Aes Sedai now, where their strength and the power dictates your status. In and of itself. There are plenty of people who are very strong in the tower who don't earn a third name and things of that nature. It's also about
but that's different.
It's also about what you do now, just not how you were born. That being said, it is significantly after the it's generations after the drilling and the breaking of the world.
It would have to be right. I would have to be 100 years or so, right?
So in the books, if memory serves, the young kid is now an old man. The young kid who sees his dad, his grandfather or whatever get killed when the battle's over, get hung, is now an old man who's getting the message to leave. Right? It's already long enough after the whole breaking is done that there's only one green man left, and Someshta, and he's all old and messed up. So this is significant amounts of time later. And I think if
200 years.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, and they're not bound by the Oath Rod too, so they would live longer than the present day Aes Sedai. So yeah, I mean, so 30 years, let's just say 30 years in real, real time age, human ages would be what, not three times that, right? 300 years.
Well, they're saying, a powerful Aes Sedai, right? And Zul is saying it in chat. Powerful Aes Sedai can live without being bound by the Oath Rod, can live as long as 800 years. And I think Aes Sedai, as powerful as Rand, could probably live even longer than that. I mean, he's one of the most powerful that there is. So, Latra's probably, if she's old, looking to be in her 70s, you could probably guess that she's at least 600 plus years old. And if she looks to be in her 40s ish or early 40s,
400. She's probably around what
a couple of hundred years. Yeah, 200 to 300 years later.
Yeah, that's assuming. But remember, there's been no explanation or any details about aging and the one power and how that works at all in the show. So
they do let you know very clearly that
They
Like
live longer.
Moraine ages much
Yeah, they
slower
do.
than her.
And they said
her
that
younger
Leandrin has the
sister.
old man's son.
But
Right.
they don't talk about how old anybody is at all. And
Right,
how,
but you
what
know
the,
that they're
yeah.
not as young as they look.
Yes, that's all you
So
know,
that's
right?
Right,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
you get a sense. You don't know how old, but you get a sense that Moraine is what, at least 10 years older than her sister,
Yeah,
right? Based on the
probably.
painting.
She's
And
supposed
her
to be in her
sister is
70s.
so Maureen's like what, like 80 now?
Yeah, in her 80s.
Well, 20 years ago, Moraine and Swan looked generally the same. Their styling was slightly different, but
Yeah,
I
look
mean,
a little younger.
a little younger maybe, but not like.
Right.
well, that's because it was the same actors playing their
I know,
roles.
but they didn't have to do that.
Yeah,
If they didn't want you to know that they would look the same then,
Yeah.
you know?
yeah.
Right.
So she's probably in her 80s.
Right. So I mean that
Um,
gives you a sense, but they
Yeah.
haven't mentioned anything about, hey, the more powerful you are, the slower you age, or anything like that at all. And they don't have to. I think all they would need to do is just, okay, it's significantly time later because this lady is now old,
Yeah.
right?
There goes my thought of Lews Therin killing her. Because now if we have old Latra, Lews Therin's dead already at this point, or
Right.
should be dead already. So I guess we'll throw that one out the window. I'd like to see her do something different, though, or just to say something different, Tom, than your thoughts on what older Latra would do.
It's gonna have to be something to do, most likely, although maybe not necessarily. Most likely, it's gonna have something to do with the glass columns, right? So
Yeah.
it has to be something that he opens.
Yes, unless well, so do we get? So do we get old Latra in the glass columns, and then young Latra in a cold open, another cold open, and do they tie those two together so that like they complement each other, right? Because if it would be weird and confusing and just uncomfortable in the sense of just like not feeling right if they did old Latra earlier on in the glass columns doing what you said, and then new Latra, younger Latra in a cold open, let's say episode 8, like they've been doing Age of Legends, and then not have them tie together.
Why can't we
How do you
see,
tie them?
like, all we need to see, like, Luz or young Latra in glass columns is, like, a descendant of Rand being there or seeing it or walking by or whatever. Like, that's all you really need. And they could do that. That's easy.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah, I think it's more likely you just see young Latra in the
And then
first
old,
flashback, and then old Latra in the next flashback, or whatever. And then it's like,
No,
like,
you
and
see old Latra first and then young Latra.
Does it go backwards?
Yes.
Or forwards? It goes backwards.
It's like Memento. It's like watching Memento. It starts with the most recent and then it works its way all the way back. Yeah, doesn't it?
no.
Someone
The
back me
last
up
thing
here.
you see is the last thing you see is the Concord of or the Concord of Rodian is the last thing you see, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
Does anyone know?
I'm like crazy, but I'm
I
pretty
don't
sure.
remember.
I'm
I
pretty
thought
sure.
it were. No.
Oh no, thanks. Okay,
Zool's saying no.
So it's
Visions are backwards in time.
there you go. Okay, sorry guys.
Yeah. It starts from the most recent and then
Okay.
works its way back. Because the last thing you see, I think, is the
Is the
dye
last thing you
shade.
see is
yeah, because you see an
the
old
Britney?
man who becomes young, right? Like then you see
Yeah.
him young, like late.
Yeah.
Not becomes young, but you see him as
Yeah,
old
my
and then young.
brain's all Swiss cheese,
Yeah.
I guess.
It's like the movie Memento.
I
It
guess
works its
so.
way backwards. So then you would see old Latra then. And then you would
The
go
last thing
back
is
and
the-
see him.
The last thing you see is the drilling of the boar.
I don't remember the scenes very well
Mhm.
from the crystal columns. I have to go back and reread that.
What book do I have? I don't know.
I'm gonna go with everyone in chat though, especially.
Yeah, I mean,
Zool.
whatever. I trust it.
We got people
It's-
getting the book.
My brain doesn't work that way when I remember
Yeah.
the story, I guess.
Yeah. No, that I remember because that's like the weird, confusing part of it is that you're going backwards in time.
No.
So
They're gonna
yeah.
they're gonna say last time on the Wheel of Time, and you're gonna see Latra, so you know who she is when we see her again.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if we see her.
Yeah,
old
I mean,
first.
it doesn't. I guess it doesn't mean. I think either way that they do it, the right
Well,
way
they
or
call
my
her
bad
Latra.
memory way.
That's-
No,
Right.
I know, but you have to remind
Right.
people who the hell Latra was after 7 years since we saw the first season.
That's
Or however
true.
long
Well,
it's going to be. 4 years.
well, I guess. Well, then it makes sense then to do it, to work the backwards in time, have old Latra, and if people don't remember who that is, eventually they go back and it's young Latra, and then people probably still don't remember who that is, but at least you'll know the face, or be a familiar face. And maybe maybe Luce Theron's in that scene too, like
Yeah, he could be.
maybe Luce Theron's in the Crystal Column scene.
It could
Maybe.
be. They could do whatever they want.
Maybe that's the first
they
time
will.
Rand sees Luce Theron, and then that's the kickoff of him starting to hear the voice.
Oh yeah, I like it.
Okay. And then I don't know what they would do in the cold open though of episode 8 if they do another Age of Legends.
I don't know.
Maybe
I would love.
Asmodean flashback or something.
I know you want to see
I
the
mean, I
drilling
do
gen
wanna-
or him and Mirren.
I do want to see him and Mirren, yeah. But we'll see.
And Ileana Sunhair. I want to see Ileana too. I want to get one yelling of the name.
I'd like
Ileana.
him to yell Ileana, but I don't think we need to see Ileana. I don't know.
Yeah.
They can't cast anyone now that we would be like, oh yeah, that's why he chose her over like oh my god, what is her name?
It shouldn't just be looks based anyway, but yes.
I know, but what is
over
why
Natasha?
can't I-
You mean?
Yes, Natasha Keefe.
Yeah. See, I don't think they're going to cast somebody and go, well, clearly, I mean, I don't know.
Wait,
You see like the back of her head, Ileana's hair.
you're saying they wouldn't
Sun
show
hair.
her face because people would be comparing her to Natasha O'Keefe?
No, I don't know. Like everyone loves Natasha O'Keefe so much now that
Oh.
it'd be hard to. I don't know. Whatever. Luce Theron's a jerk anyway. It doesn't matter.
I would love to see a flashback with Natasha O'Keefe, an Age of Legends Natasha O'Keefe. That'd be really cool.
What if it's just Natasha O'Keefe and Ileana and Luce Theron isn't there? I'm just gonna do a soap opera in my own head.
What if? Okay. What if you add a fear for Rand that Rand doesn't have in the books, even though it makes sense that he would, of like Lanfear in part turned to, even though this isn't really what it is, Lanfear was always thirsty for power, but Lanfear in part turned to the dark because she felt spurned by Luce Theron. And what if Rand's afraid that his love for more than one woman is going to cause one of those women to turn, and that's how you do the flashback.
Oh my god, I could imagine they did that in the show. They made like Avienda become bad at some point.
I can imagine it, but
They already kind of made Min bad.
Yeah, she really didn't have much of a choice.
I know.
that's how it starts, Joe.
That's true. A lot of it's what old dark friends say, right?
Yeah.
Right.
No,
Think about
most people
Dana.
say.
Poor Dana. She didn't have much of a choice either.
No, I think she was just deluded. She's just so miserable that she wanted the wheel to break. Yeah, I would love to see Natasha a Lanfear flashback, Age of Legends, whether Ileana is there or not. It'd be cool if we got an Ileana there. I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's just me wanting it so bad that I do want to see like the flashback with and Ishamael doesn't have to be there, but of Luce Theron maybe killing his wife or the aftermath of that, and him. I guess I just want to see him turn into a mountain.
Doesn't
Maybe that's what
everybody?
it is. Maybe it just comes down.
Well, they had to do something with the mountain because Rand already was like, "Oh, I remember that mountain."
Yeah, I don't think that's happening until season 7. I don't think you're going to get the Dragon Mount stuff until Rand goes to Dragon Mount himself, and that's where you're going to get that.
So he makes an offhand comment about remembering seeing that mountain before, and 6 seasons later, they finally get back to it.
They pay it off.
I will not get back to it. I think you can have reference to Dragon Mount before that. I think old Latra talking about how, the dragon killed himself and what's left is a volcano that destroyed a river or whatever.
Like, how did Lou Theron even have a memory of Dragon Ball?
That's the thing. What does Rand? Or maybe Rand remembers his birth. He was born there. Maybe that's what he remembers.
Both of those things don't make any sense.
It makes more sense that Rand remembers his birth than he does remembering, hey, I remember when I got so mad that I pulled lava up around me.
That I turned into a mountain.
I turned into a mountain.
One time I got really mad and turned into a mountain. And these guys helped me.
These guys helped me. Oh, man. I was just telling my son that Ghostbusters 2 wasn't that good. And there we go. So
I used to really like that movie a lot. I used to watch it all the time. Vigo.
Viggy.
Been a bad monkey. There was one other thing too I wanted to ask about the Latras, the two Latras. Two Latras can't exist on the same time as one.
No.
So you said two Latras in the glass columns. That means no Latra in a potential Age of Legends flashback. Or we get her in both crystal columns, and that's how they reconnect them, and like people remember, like, oh yeah, this is the woman who told Lou Theron not to do what he was going to do. But I don't know what that other scene would be because she doesn't really do much else, right? There's nothing else for her to do.
Unless you have your cold open thing be her like Choden Cal plan that he turns down.
Oh, so she like plants the seed into the viewers of the Choden Call. She introduces the Choden Call, and then Rand takes the Choden Call in Ruidian.
That's before the other time we've seen her. I thought you guys thought it was going to be only forward from there.
Well, you can see a couple of things. Maybe
it would be confusing.
The last time you see her youngest self is, well, you're going to have if memory serves, which it doesn't, as we already established earlier in this episode, right? It's the flashback is like the war is over, and then the one before that is the break-in, right? But
so you think that
like
captures Ishamael first and then talks to?
No. I'm saying no. Him capturing is already that season 2 Cold Open episode 8 is after season 1 Cold Open episode 8. I think that's like, yeah. He's like, no, I'm going, and then this is him doing it, and he's captured all the other Forsaken, and now he captures him, and then he's going to kill the Dark One. But like, I'm saying you can do a Latra. You can do Latra scenes in the columns and still have a cold open with her, like in between those two scenes. That's prior to Cold Open season 1.
That's fucking confused. I'm already confused, Tom.
Too many Latras.
Unless you have a scene. Okay,
too
so
many
I definitely
Latras.
think
It's giving me a headache.
I think you need to introduce what the Choden Call are and what they
you can do that in the Crystal Column scene because right, that's them giving them all the Tirangriel, the Angriel, and the Sangriel.
Yeah.
Right. So that would make sense to introduce the Choden Call there. So I would put that in the Crystal Column scene. Then I think that means she's not in the Age of Legends flashback. If there's one like a cold open again, I don't see the need to put her in there. If you're going to put both Latras in the glass columns, it makes more sense to introduce the Choden Call there because that's the whole point of the Dashane, right? So then I think we get a completely different. Yeah, go ahead, Jen.
Throw a wrench in this.
Throw it.
Do we need the Choden Call?
Do you need the Choden Call? I mean, if they're gonna do a cleansing of the taint, spoiler alert, it would make sense to use the Choden Call, unless they just find it. I don't know. It makes sense. I mean, you don't need to have them being like access keys to the big giant statues. You could just have them be the Sangreal. I mean, if they want to just try to simplify it, or I mean, it'd be really cool though to see like the two giants Sangreal and like all of the Amayar just commit ritual suicide
They're
after
not
their
going to
use.
put
But
that in
why not?
because I don't know.
I'll bet money they don't put it in either, Jen. But yeah, they could just have the access keys be the Sangreal.
That's all. Yeah, I think that you want to have something that is super powerful and is meant to be used by a man and a woman.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
to kind of like let that line play out that like Rand has to figure out at the end that the only way he's going to heal this, is that he needs, both sides of the of the power.
Yeah, but they could just have like small.
Yeah, it could just be the regular statues,
Yeah.
like my Captain America statue.
Yeah. Is that the first time in the books that we have a man and a woman linking?
No. I don't think so. Maybe. I didn't think about it. Man, I don't know. Does Rand link with anybody before then? Does anyone at the tower link before then?
There's no Ashaman yet at that point, or like they're not really part of
Yes,
the
there
story. There are, but they're not part of the There's no Aes Sedai with them at that point.
Well, there's other people linking at that battle, definitely, right? They have circles.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, there's yes, the Ashaman and the Aes Sedai link there as well. So that's like the first instance that we see.
Yeah, that's where it's happening a lot. But I think it might happen earlier.
Are they practicing earlier? Like Cadsuane has them practicing linking with the men?
Narration might already be with them. But I'm trying to think, does Rand link with Nynaeve or with anyone else prior to that?
I don't think so. I think that book is probably the first.
It might be, because that's why they get a huge win, right? Is because they work together.
Yeah. So it I mean, they might have been practicing or an instance before, but not before that book, I don't think. So yeah, I think the Choden Kal, just if not for it being this cool, powerful tool, it is very symbolic, right? That, because I'm saying this is like the first instance, or at least surrounding this event is the first instance where men and women link in, the third age that we know. Well, not the third age, but in I guess in the third.
Yeah,
I'm sure the
third
first
age.
In the third age
is really like in between ages almost.
Yeah,
because the first calendar is after breaking.
Yeah, so and that's gonna be right. That's a big part of the whole series is like men and women working together, with the one power.
And just in
talking
general
about that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, yeah, just in general, but also they make so many references to the Age of Legends, and men and women used to create things together, and some of the greatest things ever created were done with men and women together. You want to get that as a theme in the show, and also have a great, cool set piece and symbolic way to do that.
Yeah, and I also do love the idea that like Rand knows there's this like insanely powerful weapon / tool that he has access to, that he has to just like, he can't even be around them because he's so afraid like he's going to get tempted to try and use it.
Yeah, who's he give them to? He gives them to somebody, right? Or he stashes them back.
He hides them immediately
back in Ruidian, right? Doesn't he put them back in Ruidian?
Yeah, they're like in a secret wall somewhere. And then
he never. That's the only time we see them used, right? Is at the break at the cleansing, and then they melt.
They melt after that. Yeah.
Yeah. Which they can just do, right? Because that works out, right? Because then like it just takes these out of the equation.
Or one melts. Whatever you say, one of them.
Only I thought they both melted.
No. Yeah, I don't know. I think he's right. I think it's just one.
The female one melts. Yeah. Oh, Cadsuane keeps one. She keeps the male one. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, they could just make both of them melt, because I don't think they. Does he use it again? Does he use it at the at Natron's Barrow, or
no? Maybe.
Or does he use? Oh no.
Does he take it when he goes to Dragonmount? Man, I haven't reread the end of the series in a while, and it's showing today. Sorry, guys.
No, that's okay. It's a lot to remember. I don't remember a lot of it. And I just did a reread like a year ago. It's very hard to remember everything that happens. So yeah, I like this idea. I like Latra's going to be there to ferry the Daishain off, introduce the Choden Call. So yeah, and we get all that great stuff. I like it. Book it down. She's not going to be in any other cold opens or flashbacks, glass columns, Latra, twice, 2 different timelines. I like it. Let's do it. Book it. We're done.
All right. So I'm reading through the companion, just to be clear, the statue itself, the actual statue melts, and the key is destroyed. For the female.
The female.
The female statue melts, not the key. The key just doesn't work. The statue's gone.
Oh, the statue melts. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought the access key melted.
Mm-hmm. There you go. The corresponding access key was destroyed. That's what it says in the.
Oh, the access key gets destroyed. So the statue melts, access key destroys.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yes, that's what it says in the companion.
Oh.
And then everyone goes.
Rand has to use it again, right? Because there was no point in having that still around then.
I don't remember exactly.
What would be the point of not having that be destroyed also?
Yeah, again, I don't remember what he doesn't have Calendar back. Where does he put Calendar after
Nourishment gets not nourishment.
Nourishment takes it, gets it back
gets
for
it back, yeah.
And then he uses a Path of Daggers. Bashir tackles him out of the horse because he's killing everybody.
That's right. That's Calendar. Okay.
That's
I thought maybe. And
then I don't know what he does with it after that, but he doesn't have. Does he still have the? Does
he just carry Calendar with him?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have that with him for a while. Oh, well. All right. This is okay.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, this is probably not an interesting conversation here. Us try to remember stuff. We're
gonna update us on the next episode.
Yeah, we'll get an update here. All right. Any thoughts before we wrap up on these new episode titles? I think we lotched out with that part at least. But any final things to say about the episode titles, or if you want to talk about Latra more, that's cool. We can Latra all night long. Tom's like, Joe's giving me all these good episode titles here.
It's true. There was you had just one other thing, not about the episode title,
writer
title stuff. There was another thing on the X that Sarah pointed out that I just wanted to talk about, because there were some questions about the veracity of not the episode titles, but who wrote them, right? And Sarah just put in that, and I'm not going to quote directly here, but that Justine Julie Gilman is an executive producer and number 2 creatively and otherwise in the show. But you know, and in that role, she touches every single episode as part of her job. And what you call it, and it's not at all uncommon for an executive producer like her to write multiple episodes in a season. So there was some questions about just, does that make sense for one writer with so many writers on the show, blah, blah, blah. And it was kind of clarified that that's not unheard of by any stretch of the imagination.
So she wrote, so Catherine McKenna, back to Catherine McKenna. She's the one who's writing Question of Crimson. She wrote season 1, episode 7, The Dark Along the Ways. Not everybody's favorite episode, but
Oh, no. So I have to jump on that grenade, though.
And then she's also a staff writer, obviously, for a bunch of the other episodes. They also have her listed for episode 2 of season 2, Strangers and Friends.
Okay.
So that was, oh God, what happens in that episode? I'm already forgotten. Season 2. Strangers and Friends is Elias, right? We get Perrin and Elias stuff.
Moraine and Lan are deciding to go to Moraine leaves Lan at the end of episode 2, right?
Yeah, when she leaves Lan, she
with Alana.
With Alana, yeah.
Yeah, we got Varen and Adelius and Vandine. Yeah. We get the story of how Moraine and Lan met. Yeah, that's right.
You get Varen.
Matt and Min.
And Varen finds out that the dragon.
Yeah, we get Dordral in this one. They get to Atuan's Mill. That's the end, right? The end is and the Atuan's Mill fight.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
And Elaine meeting Egwene.
Yeah, Nynaeve and Leandra and stuff. Yeah, we get the Elaine introduction as well. So, and then Matt meets Min through the wall. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's a pretty good episode. She did better the second time around. So that's good news. And yeah, no Rafe. We didn't talk about this really. We didn't talk too much about it, but no Rafe writing any episodes probably.
Yeah.
So
that's a good thing.
I think
so like George Lucas, where it's like the story's good, but like putting it to paper and writing the script should be done by other people.
Yes. Yes, he needs to work with somebody.
Yeah.
So this is good. Justine Jewel Gilmore wrote a bunch of the episodes, although she wrote a controversial episode. I think one of the more controversial episodes, right? In season 1.
Well, I mean, again, that like I said, that's 6? Almost like. Yes, 7 is like, here's a shit sandwich. Can you make a nice garnish for it? So while we were talking, just to clarify, our Discord chat has cleared this up. Rand destroys the Choden Call on Dragon Mount. After that's all done, he blows it up himself. Right, so he has the access key there, I guess, and then he, right, because he's thinking about breaking the world in half. And then now my memory's coming back.
Oh, right? And Veins of Gold?
Veins of Gold, and when he comes out of it, he destroys the statue just to make sure that like that temptation's gone from anyone forever.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you, chat.
Yes. As Meg Boz and Antoine specifically, well done.
So she wrote, Justine Jewel Gilmore wrote The Flame of Tarvalon, right? That's kind of a divisive episode that some people love it. Some fans hate that episode. That she also wrote episode 7 of last season, Dice Daimar.
Oh, okay.
Which was, I liked that episode, even though there was so much weird shit going on in there that didn't happen. Like everything was wild compared to the books in that episode, but I kind of liked it and I was all for it.
That's right.
So I don't know what any of this means for the show until we actually see the episodes. So everything we just said for the last 40 minutes
doesn't matter.
Forget it. I think this is a good place to wrap it up here.
What about episode 6 is like a nickname for Matt?
A nickname for Matt?
Because episode 7 is Golden Eyes, and then episode 8 is He Who Comes. It's like Prince of the Ravens or
Prince
something.
of the Ravens. There you go.
Yeah, like that.
It's a little early, but you never know.
What do they call him? Gambler or horn sounder? What else do they call him in Genji? Or is it just gambler and horn sounder? I shouldn't ask us trivia questions about the books. We're not on tonight. Son of Battles. There we go.
Son of Battles. There we go.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good name.
That's a good
I don't know how that would
title.
pertain to an episode in this.
Thanks, Gabe.
That's a good one. Son of Battles.
It could be him. I have Into the Doorway, right, as one of my episodes because I have him going into, so there could be Son of Battles instead.
Prince of the Ravens is a chapter title, right?
No.
It might be. Son of Battles, I'm pretty sure isn't.
Yeah.
So
No. Torn Sounder might be too. I'm not sure.
I don't think. Oh, maybe it is. Only there was a way to find out. Anyway, I want to remind everyone to follow us on social media. You could follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Join us over in Discord to continue the conversation there. We also post our episodes on our YouTube page, so be sure to go there and like and subscribe. We're close. We're getting close to 1,000 subscribers, guys.
Hey, all right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so help us out there. Even if you don't go on YouTube or care about watching the videos, just go and subscribe. That's all you got to do. Rate and review us wherever you listen to podcasts. Of course, we love reading your reviews. So write us something nice or not so nice. We just like reading. Check out our merchandise page and also our Patreon page to support us that way. We've got some great stuff going there. And links to all the aforementioned information are included in the show notes to this episode. Any goodbyes, final words for either of you?
Happy Easter, everybody who celebrates Easter. And,
Happy Easter.
Happy Sunday to everybody else.
Well, it'll be Monday when they hear this. So
happy Monday.
Let's go, Mets.
Yeah, we got exciting sports. It's an exciting time of the year for sports. We've got the March Madness going. We got NBA's getting close to the end of the season. Hockey's close to the end of the season, and baseball's just started. So watch some sports. Enjoy. Relax. And thanks everyone for listening. You'll hear us next time.